This is iDesign Lab, a podcast where creativity and curiosity meet style and design. Curator of interiors, furnishings, and lifestyles. Hosted by Tiffany Woolley, an interior designer and a style enthusiast, along with her serial entrepreneur husband, Scott. iDesign Lab is your ultimate design podcast, where we explore the rich and vibrant world of design and its constant evolution in style and trends. Today on iDesign Lab, we're joined by Louise Trafficanti, Creative Director at Eastern Accents. With over 30 years in luxury textiles and roots at Dublin's National College of Art and Design, Louise blends craftsmanship, global sourcing, and storytelling, shaping how fabric transforms the way we experience home.
Welcome to the iDesign Lab podcast. Today we are joined in studio with Louise Trafficanti. I hope I said that right. Who is a very creative, intelligent, well-traveled source of information in the textile industry. I'm so excited to dive into this conversation. She is a huge driving force to the evolution and growth of Eastern Accents, which is such a unique company that we're going to get to talk about today. And I would say the creative director behind Pandora's Manor, which is a very special place in High Point that we've been fortunate enough to
Wonderful
to
place.
visit.
So cool.
So welcome, Louise.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we want to hear everything, but let's start at the very beginning. So you come from Dublin.
Yes. So I'm Irish. I was born there, went to college in Dublin, studied textiles at the National College of Art and Design. And when I was in college, it was the 1990s in Ireland, things were pretty depressed. The job environment was not good. And most young Irish people, most graduates emigrated. So I realized that's probably on the cards for me too. And I thought, well, I'll just go to England. I'll go to Europe or
France
whatever,
or
wherever.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the time, newspapers were actually a relevant thing. So the newspaper, imagine that, the newspaper had a little article saying, new batch of Morrison visas, green cards, are coming out. And Ireland has always allocated kind of a high number of these Morrison visas or green cards. What you do is you just send on a white sheet of paper, name, address, whatever, to some place in Nebraska. And
Nebraska?
Yes, which I always thought was weird. That stuck with me too. You send it off to Nebraska. People just get picked randomly. And
Like a lottery.
It was a lottery system. And that's basically how I got my green card. And then when I got it, I was like, well, I guess this is where I need to go. This is my destiny or my fate. I'm meant to go to the US. So you do some tests, you pass a physical, because obviously they want to make sure you're healthy and everything. And that's what happened.
That's kind of like when people came to Ellis Island in the late 1800s.
Yes.
You had to do the physical and so forth. So they're still doing that.
Still doing it. Like if you have TB or something, you're not allowed in.
Right.
I mean, it's that antiquated too. Because I don't really know too many people that have TB these days.
So your first step into the United States, where did you land originally?
So this is crazy. I went to Chicago at first because it was actually, I got it my third year of college. So I came for a summer to work. And the only people I knew in the country were in Chicago, and it was relatives of my dad.
It was a relative.
So it was at least somebody I could physically touch base with.
Right.
Came over, stayed with them, and then I moved into Chicago. I found an apartment that I sublet. I found a student from DePaul who didn't need their place for the summer, and I just rented it for the summer. I got a $5 bike at a garage sale.
And resourceful.
Yes. And I rode around the streets of Chicago on my bicycle. And that was how I got to learn the streets, which helped, obviously. And I worked there and I liked it. And I liked Midwesterners.
Of course.
So what did you start working? It was like your first job?
Summer job, I was working at Crate and Barrel, and at the time it was on Michigan Avenue.
Yeah, that was like the height of the Oprah time.
It was huge.
It was such a good vibe.
It really was.
Chicago.
And it was such a lovely city to be in, and it's a great city in the summer.
Yes.
Beautiful beach. It's beautiful architecture. It's so clean. Such a lovely place. So I loved it.
So you
So
felt
working
like
at Crate and Barrel, what, retail,
Yep.
working in the store?
Working retail, working in the store.
And you went to college for
Textile design.
textile design.
I know, and that's what just blows my mind when I hear yours, like read through your original story. I mean, for you to connect to Eastern accents from being a textile major in
it's
Dublin,
crazy.
Ireland, is
That's
truly
that's like hitting the lottery.
for them and you.
So I guess I hit the lottery twice. I got the green card,
Right.
and then in my job, yes, it was really
It's
unusual.
really kismet.
Nobody thinks you're going to find somebody that works in textiles in Chicago.
Right.
And really, that's more of a southern thing. You think, okay, southeast where mills are, things like that. And
I kind of think of it as like out of the country. Even
Yeah.
even the name of the country, Eastern accents. You
yes,
think
you think
somewhere
the company is a foreign company. You don't
Correct.
realize it's a domestic manufacturer.
Yeah.
Which I love about Eastern accents. They are, a domestic manufacturer. It's made in the USA. I think that's just so spectacular. So obviously, Eastern accents has been a huge part of your, your life here in the United States and in general. So how did that come about?
So I did work in a lot of different things. One of the things I did, I worked in like production, doing set design and wardrobe
goodness.
design for a little bit, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I did work, and this is another unusual thing, but I worked for a very small boutique weaving company that was in the West Loop in Chicago. And we would weave beautiful fabrics. It was all hand woven for upholstery, really, really nice. And then I was doing like random 3 to 4 jobs, just sort of floating around. And that's when I started, when I applied for the job at Eastern Accents. And I thought, this is strange, but they work with textiles. They ask, they're
Were you
interested in
familiar
design.
with them at all?
I had no idea.
or-
This was sort of pre-internet too, because I started
Right.
working with Eastern Accents in 1999. And the web really wasn't around, so it was very hard to research
So
companies.
you didn't know what you were getting into.
I did not know what I was getting into.
Were they as established as they are
No.
today?
No.
How many employees then?
Probably about maybe 80,
Okay,
100.
so it's still a big company.
Still a big company, and it was in a very unusual, it was in the northwest side of the city, and it was all a building that was not made for manufacturing, so it was
Mhm.
very broken and disjointed. So when I did go in for my interview and I'm walking around looking at everything, and I'm like, this is very strange. Like, what are they doing here? And upstairs was this sewing room, and it was all old wood floorboards, and just the noise of the machines, you could almost feel the floor reverberating.
Vibrating?
Yes. But it was just a very unique environment. Really, really unusual. I didn't know what I walked into. And I met the owners of the company, and I had the strangest interview of my life. I was like, I don't really know. And they're looking at my portfolio, and we're talking. And the owners of the company, they're a husband and wife team.
Mm-hmm.
Husband is Turkish and his wife is Swedish. And I'm just sitting there a little confused, trying to figure out everything.
Sum it all up.
Sum it all up. And then after I came out of the interview, I called my now husband, then boyfriend. I said, I think I just accepted a job, but I'm not too sure. I don't really know what happened.
So you went on an interview, and at the same time as the interview, they offered you
me
the
the job.
which is unusual because normally they call back or they have to decide, or most companies.
Yes. And I think that's Eastern Accents is always very decisive. There's
Oh,
not
that's good.
there's not much hemming and hawing. Like usually they know. And
I love that confidence, that mindset.
yes, and I think too what I've learned as well from working there is it's more of a personal fit and a character fit, finding the right people that fit into that environment and that mindset, as opposed to what your set skills are.
Right.
So when you see the person or meet the person and you get the energy, then you're like, you know what, I think you're going to fit in just fine. And that's usually how it works in the company.
So what was your initial role there?
So the original designer of the company was pregnant and she was going to be going on maternity leave. So they wanted me to be her assistant, fill in and cover for her when she was gone.
And when you say designer, was she picking the fabrics, curating the layers?
Yes. Picking the fabrics, curating everything, putting the bed sets together. She really was executing the vision of the company. And then sales and marketing and everything would look at the collections. They'd be launched at High Point, and that was sort of her role. And she would work with production.
For people who are listening and watching this, who aren't familiar with Eastern accents, tell us a little about what they make and what the company does.
So it's a very, very interesting company. It's in Chicago. It's in Albany Park, and we make luxury pillows, bedding, sheets. We make headboards, draperies, anything with fabric, really, we make. We manufacture, we cut and sew, we design in Chicago. And it's a really unusual place. It's got a great energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have people that speak all languages, come from all parts of the world. I call it kind of like a little United Nations of manufacturing.
Right.
And everybody just, really gets along. It's a very unique environment.
So it's a line of products that most people probably don't really think about.
No.
Or come on top of mind and so forth, especially in interior decorating. But the products are pretty much used by every single person there is on a daily basis.
Yes.
That you don't really take it and ever think about. Everyone goes to bed every night.
Yeah.
Everyone's laying down on a bed.
Yeah.
And they're probably laying on your products.
Could be.
That they're getting a great night's sleep with.
Yes. And we grew organically and everything happened sort of very organically where customers just like our product, like dealing with us, liked our business, like that we ship on time, the quality. And then usually they would ask and say, hey, did you guys ever think of doing this? Because we are looking for a good source for this and we can't find one. And we never say no. We always try. So we always say, yes, we're going to figure it out. And we do that. We figure it out.
Well, that's the beauty of having a, team in-house that you really
and
get to.
Domestic manufacturing. You just go right there and say, I want you to cut this and can you do this?
And it's all right there. Everything under the same roof.
Yes. We've done the impossible. I've seen jobs turned around in times that should never have happened. We've made custom fitted sheets for airline seats that recline, and done that. We embroider the number of the airplane onto it so that people know which jet it is used in and everything. We do a lot of customization. So we're very skilled artisans in sewing and cutting, and it's really hard to find that anymore. And most of that work is done overseas. Very few places do it domestically. So we're really I call us a dinosaur because we really are a dinosaur.
So you're running the entire business, even from photography and all the creative, it's all done in-house. But the fabrics, they're coming from, because from what I understand, you travel extensively.
Yes. The fabrics come from everywhere. We buy from mills all over the world. So we buy from Europe, we'll buy from Turkey. We buy from China. We buy our embroideries from India. So we everywhere
searching the best,
and we buy domestically too. But that's even drying up, and mills are disappearing here,
which is
really sad.
Yeah.
And the problem is you can't start that up again.
Right.
Who's going to say, I want to open a mill? You can't do that. Even with manufacturing, it's the same thing. Who's going to say, I want to open up a factory? I mean, try finding people that can actually, that have the skills to work there.
So in traveling through all of these mills and so forth, do you ever have times where you run across a product or a new fabric just going, oh my God, look at this.
Yes. So that's what you live for.
It is.
That is
because I hear everyone here in our office
too.
When Scalamandra or the different fabric companies come here to show the new things. And I hear Tiffany and some of them in the office, oh my God, the oohing and the ahhing. I don't understand it. But there's a lot of excitement going on because of a new fabric.
Well, fabric really is art. And especially, in the old tapestry days. I mean, I appreciate so much as these vendors come in, and I'm sure you, and I know you guys use these materials as well. There is such history behind these fabrics.
And when you see fabrics that just blow your mind, like you look at it and you're like, how did they even design that? Look at the construction in this. Look at the layers. Look at how this was made. This is just crazy.
You mean how it's sewed?
How it's constructed, how it's woven, how it's sewn.
Really?
Sometimes we'll have embroideries where they'll be printed. Then you might have some pin tucking, like pleating, so manipulation of the fabric. Then you will have hand embroidery done on top of it. So you're just like...
And the different threading. and
But
the
isn't that a
different-
craft that's kind of disappearing?
It's not.
It's
Not in the
okay.
old world,
And
I feel
not
like.
in countries like India, like they are superior, skilled people that just can create and make the most beautiful fabrics, beautiful beading, intricate detail, just things that, you know, you look up close, you're like, am I seeing that? Is
Right.
that really done? I mean, you do live for that. You live for that moment. Like, that's what I want. I want to go somewhere and I want to just
Be awed.
Yeah.
Be in
I want to
awe.
get my socks knocked off. Whenever I see a new mill, I'm like, I hope you have it. I hope you have it in that bag. I'm dying to see it. Because that, when you see it's got like, that's the starting point. I'm like, that's the new collection. We're
Of the
doing
new
this. We're going to
collection.
build something around this because this is
Really?
an amazing textile. And that becomes the statement piece.
And then do you coordinate with these vendors, maybe tweaking color
Yes.
or tweaking things
Yes.
yourself? So you're really setting your
We
fabrics
yes,
and textiles
Sometimes
apart.
it's perfect.
Right.
Sometimes, you know what?
It's just
It works. It's beautiful. It's the harmony, the composition, the color, texture, everything is perfect. But sometimes we'll say, you know, we think that our customer, and in the US, it'd be better to lean into
Iteration,
this palette.
yeah.
Yes. And the scale of this, or we should remove this. Because sometimes people are strange about some things, like there's always kind of a funny rule, like no fruit in the bedroom.
I know.
So fruit is not
No fruit,
in the bedroom. So
Okay.
fruit is something that's stylized. Maybe you can get away with it, but if it starts to look too much like a bunch of grapes, somebody's going to be like, oh, is that grapes on my bed? I don't really like it.
You know, it's such a specific
So specific. And
area that you're
people are
curating.
also
That's funny.
curious about birds.
I
A lot of
agree.
people have birds and bird phobias.
And so
and
I have
there
a
are some
client who
beautiful
was-
fabrics, but sometimes you're like,
with birds. I agree.
I realize that will maybe be a little bit tough for some people.
I
to
actually
take.
So
ask
what's
that
the
question now.
was there a design that's kind of a universal, most popular that
A lot of in textiles we have like a damask design, which is kind
Yeah.
of like a frame design, and
Yeah,
that's kind of more of a
uh-huh.
classic thing.
Right.
Now that can go
Modern.
That's-
can
can
go
go-
clean.
yes,
It can-
and
I feel like we
it
can
can be interpreted in
transitional it.
so many different ways. So I feel like that's a very easy thing to live with. But so traditional motifs, I think, are popular. Leaves and natural things tend to also be nice
Mm-hmm.
choices for the bedroom too as well. Because for the most part too, we're talking about somewhere where somebody goes to rest. They have to feel like it's harmonious.
Tranquility.
It's nice.
right?
Not everybody wants it, and we try to offer something for everybody, but generally a harmonious palette is a desired thing.
Is bedding your biggest category? How many other categories are?
Pillows.
So we have pillows, which is just, gangbusters. We have hundreds of thousands of pillows.
I
Bedding
need to start relying on you
Sheets.
for pillows more.
and linens we have. And again, it's a lot of these fabrics we seek out are really unusual ones. So for our pillows, we try to go and find these really unusual fabrics.
When you say pillows, you mean like throw pillows?
Throw
you
pillows,
put on a
decorative.
couch.
On a
and
couch.
Yeah.
a sofa or
Yep.
outdoor. Or,
Outdoors, another category. That's kind of a separate category we have,
Uh-huh.
which is an interesting and growing category.
Mhm.
Then we also have our upholstery. We make headboards, ottomans, benches. We do some storage benches,
Yeah,
end
you
of
are
bed
big
benches.
about benches. I know.
And
so is that all custom?
we have
Could be,
product.
but
It can
there's-
be because
Okay.
we can customize anything. So you come to Eastern Accents, you could say, listen, I have this custom made bed. It's this size mattress, can you make me sheets and everything for it? We could do it. You give us the measurements and we make it. We've made beds for NBA athletes
That are extra long.
that are huge.
Right.
So, the scale of them is enormous. So the beds we make are custom, and even their mattresses then are custom also, because they're just so huge.
Right. What a
So
fun
how
home.
much of your business is retail? Retail stores or retail chains or?
Retail isn't a huge part of our business. We're mainly a business to business.
Right.
And we encourage the public to go to look and see our product and buy from designers that carry our line, that have our binders and all of our sales materials,
Right.
or go to stores. Like in Florida, you can find our product in Bears, Robin Stuckey,
Right.
stores like that.
So those are chains. Those
Yeah, those are
Furniture
chains.
stores.
There's not many though. They're pretty healthy down here, but there's not as many around the US anymore.
Right.
So most of our product is sold through designers and through interior designers who are working on full homes.
People will get a much better.
And they get a better pricing.
Yeah.
If we protect our customers by making sure that if they do buy it from us, they
I know
realize
you've
they're going to
always
pay
been
more.
very good
Right.
about that. Eastern Accents has. How often do you release new collections?
Every single month. So we used to do collections twice a year at High Point. We'd go to High Point. We'd have 15, 16 collections, new beds. And what would happen is people would come in and they look. And by bed 3, they're glazing over. They can't take it anymore. By bed 6, they're done. You might have lost them. It just was so much to absorb and learn and
Layer.
take about. Take in. It's just a little overwhelming. And then over COVID time, it was interesting. I started to think like, why are we doing this? Why are we actually...
Wow. So for a long time, that's how you
For a very long
operated.
time, that's how we did it. But over COVID, it was nice because we had time to just sort of think. And I thought, this is so much pressure we're putting on our photography, our swatch department, everything to get all of this product ready for this big launch. Then we go out there and then people glaze over after seeing 2 or 3 of them. It's almost like we're doing an injustice to these new collections that all require a ton of time and energy and
Right.
resources and money to get out there. So I thought, why don't we try something different? What if we just decided, instead of doing it twice a year, why don't we do it constantly? And that way we might keep our customer more engaged, launch
That's a good
every
point,
month.
too.
Maybe what we introduced this month isn't right for you, Tiffany, but next month maybe we've got something and you think that's perfect.
So how has that launch come about? So every month you're launching a new collection, and that's through photography,
Yes.
through social
Yes.
media, through
Yes.
internet, all that.
And immediately when we launch it, we will get requests for swatches.
Yes.
People might say, oh, I'm working on something. This might work in that project or that proposal. They get the fabrics, the swatches, and then they can place an order and we will ship immediately. So once we launch a collection, we have the fabric in stock, we can take orders.
So you do stock all the fabrics.
Yes.
Is it made to order
Yes.
immediately?
It is made to order. And the reason we do a made to order is a lot of times the fabrics from bolt to bolt might have variations in dye lots or things like that. When you place your order, we want to make sure that your actual bed set is cut from the same bolt of fabric so that everything is consistent. So the light in the room is good so that the fabric it's all perfectly matched. And we make sure that we match the dye lots and match the product before it goes out to our
And
customer.
do you launch it to a seasonal aspect or literally just...
We've learned, yes. There are
Okay.
certain things like we try to do tropical for Florida early in the year. January, February, realizing we're probably going to hit that market then. We try to do something very glam, a little bit more festive, and we kind of dot those through the year, but we usually have one as well that we'll try to launch in December because it's a little bit more seasonal, so that's appropriate. So we try to hit the right time where people might be looking at buying that product at that particular stage.
Do you have a bestseller?
We do have a bestseller. America loves blue.
Oh, yeah.
Blue is, I don't know, blue is just that, even though there's so many different segments, like we
So
design for
many.
American Southwest, we do Southeast, we do lake looks, we do mountain looks.
That's
But
a lot of product,
it's a lot of
a
product.
lot of design.
A lot of design, but blue is huge. our current bestseller that we have in our line is called Amberlin, and it's a blue and kind of taupe and white, very clean look. And that one just, sometimes this happens. It's magic. It just sort of hits all markets, all areas, and everybody loves it. Male, female, everything.
So take us through the design process. So how do you come up with
How
a new
many
idea?
fabrics
Or
are needed
do you
in each?
like once a month all
Is
sit
there
down,
a
or you sit down as a creative director, go, okay, we're going to create a new, whatever it might be. Does that take an hour, a week, 2 weeks? Like
what's going to be the bolster? What's going to be like?
Yeah.
How does all the
It's a
components?
It is like building a puzzle, and not all the puzzle pieces come together so well, and sometimes they don't work, and you have to pivot and do something else. But usually what we do is we see so many fabrics from different mills. We have a really vast archive in our library, in our factory. So we have probably like 50 clothing rails full of fabric. It's all separated by vendor.
Unbelievable.
We date everything that comes in and look at it. So we realize if this fabric came in, let's say
2 years ago.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, if it's from a mill, we know they'll be able to weave it again. But if it's from a converter, we know we might have continuity issues. So we're a little bit reluctant to bring it in because once we start, it takes us about a year to launch that collection.
Wow.
a year.
Yeah, fully.
Wow.
Or it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be a little shorter, but I would say the average is...
But you're launching something
Every month.
new every month. So you've got so many things.
We have so many things in the
pipeline.
arsenal. It's crazy.
A lot of little duckies in a row there.
A lot of duckies. And sometimes some of the ducks don't behave and something falls apart and we find out right before we're ready to launch, you know what, this mill can't get this fabric anymore. We're like, okay, we got to take it out. Let's just move everything up instead. And then we work on this and we put it back into the mix. So it's a ton of problem solving and there's things that you can never anticipate that are going to happen. And what we do, but to get back to what you were asking, Scott, so we look at all the fabrics. We pull aside ones that are really inspiring and beautiful. Main fabrics that are kind of like the anchor fabric of the group. Then what we do is we have those laid out. We start to build boards around it, just like you do, Tiffany, with your clients and everything. We put all the coordinates and there's a certain balance you want to get with coordinates and you want certain colors to be brought out and everything. We sometimes will customize fabrics and trims to go with it.
You will,
Put everything together. We have to send out spec sheets on all of our fabrics, so we make sure that we can get continuity on it.
From the mills?
From the mill, from the supplier. We have to have all the information on the fabric. We input all of that. We have to make sure that our purchasing knows what it is. We name it. Everything comes in, then we start to play with the fabrics. We put it together. It's kind of a balance. It's like finding that perfect equilibrium in the design, like where the bolster just has enough punch or enough impact on the top of the bed. You don't want anything to overpower everything else. So it's a very it's like a very fine-tuned equation that we hit in our design. And then we make the prototypes and we have in-house people that just do prototypes for us only. We're constantly making beds and we did have an office space that we called the boardroom, but now we just took all the tables and chairs out. We put beds in there. And we call it the bedroom.
I was going to say, that's so
and
cute.
And the bedroom is where we review all of our product.
Your magic happens, literally.
It is. And we generally layer everything together. We just cut and place it to see all of the placement. Then we get them sewn, and it's great because we have our fabulous sewers right there. They'll just sew and cut it and make it right there and then. So it's an immediate gratification thing, which is huge. You look at it and you're like, boy, that turned out really cool.
Yeah.
And
that just worked.
We have 6 designers that do this all the time.
Full time.
Yes. And then once we look at the collection, we decide, okay, this looks really good. Now we realize we're designing it for this customer, this part of the US, this demographic, and this kind of a lifestyle. So we try to design it in the best possible way for that customer.
So is price point always, somewhat the same, or do you ever have to tweak things due to price points?
Sometimes we do.
Like with that perfect equation,
yes.
How much does that play into it?
Sometimes we might hit a situation where we're like, oh, once it's in pricing, we kind of get a red flag and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
hold on one second. Like the bolster pillow is beautiful, but let's just look at it because it's the same price as €2 shams. And then you're like,
Right.
just relatively, like that could throw a lot of people off. So
From
we
using that.
do use common sense where we look at it and we say, okay, so how can we get to this? Or what could we change to make it more in line with where it should be so that it's relative to the price of the bed? We're not driven by price. We're driven by the style and the look and the feel, but we do have to take price into account. And that usually happens when it is in pricing and coding. And before then, we have all of our salespeople, we have our marketing, we have photography. We all review the beds. So we look at the beds together. So the designer gets up, presents the bed. It's very much like a crit situation in art school. So it's an open forum. There's no feelings involved. This is purely, we are looking at the merits of the sales of this
Right,
bed and
right.
strategy and where the market is and who
I
would
just
want
love
this.
the design that goes into that. I mean, the level of detail
Yes.
and execution to get to that point.
And it's nice because we're able to talk about different things that we've done. So some of the designers will try new techniques, new manufacturing styles, or come up with something new. And we're able to point it out so everybody in the company sees it. And then we know that's something we need to run with. Then we know that's something that we need to incorporate in our custom workroom because this is something that customers may want to incorporate in their own designs. So we try to make sure that when we introduce something that's new, it goes all across the board.
And then do you try to keep the sheeting aspect more universal or?
Yes. For the most part, sheets are going to be white.
Yeah.
They're going to sell. We have a lot of variety in our sheets and we have a lot of different types of raw materials we work with, whether it's percale or sateen and different thread counts. And what we do is when we're photographing the bedding collection, we usually select a sheet set that's a lovely complement to it. So something that looks good, like whether it's linen or something with a lace insert, to be a little bit more formal.
So you just brought something up. I have to ask a question because I don't understand.
Yeah.
I've heard it a million times. Thread count.
Yes.
How important is that? And how do you measure a thread count to a sheet or to? So how does that?
So the thread count.
Because the higher the thread count, the
more it's the higher.
softer or
No, it's
or-
really it's the higher the thread count, the more yarn that is in it. So and it's usually like per square inch. So you're talking about 1,000. It's a very, very fine thread count. It's very densely woven because it's a lot of threads that go in there.
Does that mean it's better?
It doesn't.
Does it? Okay.
doesn't.
So I always thought.
Everybody thinks that though. It's kind of like a
I need
Well, that's
1,600
what I
thread
that's what I
count.
think. It's like the higher the thread count, the better the sheet is. But why is it better? Is it softer? Is it?
It's more expensive
It is more
because it's a finer yarn.
Right.
The thing you want to think about with your sheets is you need a good quality yarn. Like you need a good cotton. And the good cotton is what is most important.
And where do you think that comes from in your experience?
So most of ours is most of our linens are an Egyptian cotton.
I was just going to ask you.
And most of our linens come from Italy, and that's where they're woven and finished.
Egyptian meaning Egypt?
Yes, meaning
The
cotton is sourced in Egypt, spun and everything, finished, brought over to Italy, and then woven in Italy in sheets, into sheets.
And how about because I feel like with a bed, how much do you think about wrinkling, and does the thread counts have any bearing with that? For me, I can't stand when it doesn't look pristine.
Tiffany has the sheets ironed.
Yes.
Well, that's
Before they go
every
back
week,
on a
but
bed.
yeah. Well, how do
And I'm
you?
like, they're going to get wrinkled as soon as you get on it. Why are you ironing it? But
But it's such a good feeling, Scott,
It
when you
is.
get into
I
a
agree-
bed
I-
and
I
they're
agree with that.
perfectly pressed. It
and
feels so
tight
nice.
and
Yeah.
taut.
It's one of those things that it's a personal preference because
Right.
we also have a stone washed Italian linen that is very, very soft and it's wrinkled. And
stone washed.
Stone washed.
What
It's a
is-
particular chemical process that they wash the fabric in. So the linen kind of breaks down, fibers become very soft. So it's not scratchy at all.
Huh.
But it's linen, it's creased. It's meant to be
Right.
creased. You're really not meant to iron it. But some people
Still do.
still do.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely be still doing that. But is that part of your process too? Thinking of what's going to wrinkle, what's going to give you the long term, like especially with a duvet or certain pillows.
Yes.
Those things obviously are not meant to be washed and
Yes.
ironed every day.
A lot of our product, because it's made using multiple components and multiple fibers, like let's say we have a pillow and this one is mainly like, this could be viscose and cotton, this one could be linen, whatever. You've so many different variations, and then you've got a trim on it. So in order to make sure you can't wash them, because it's just the blanket care doesn't work for them, and really it's just dry clean, because it's so many different components that are in there and different materials. Something could shrink a lot if it's washed, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, my pillow looks like it's all bunched up here, and it's like because the cord shrank but the fabric didn't, you know. So it can change things like that.
That's so interesting.
So you have a lot of employees, like over 300 in Chicago. How difficult is it from a standpoint of the people who are doing, and I don't know the terminology, sewing or who
factory.
Is it difficult to find those types of skilled workers?
They're artisans.
Because
they are artists.
Like I said earlier, I think that's kind of like disappearing.
I mean, I don't think there's a 16-year-old out there saying, I really want to sew.
Right.
I really want to sit at a sewing machine and sew, or I really want to cut fabric.
So are you training people? Are you?
No, we're not training people. Our workforce is a little older, and a lot of our people have been with us for a very long time.
But you have to be thinking
backup
about
plan.
How do you
so keep continuity?
Because the company's been around since the late 80s.
Now we do have, one thing that we do have, which is nice, is we do have a lot of families working for us.
Okay.
So a lot of times it's great because it's like, well, mom sews and her daughters sew, and maybe their daughters sew too, because they grew up around it. And that's really encouraging, because that's the way it gets passed down, and they learn it from them. So then they come to us and they're able to sew. We haven't had to train people yet. When people come in, they have the base level skill set. Yes. Right. Now we do train people how to cut fabrics, and cutting is an art form too.
It sure is.
You got to cut it. You've got to center something. Yes. You know, we cut everything one at a time. We don't bulk cut in layers, because we have a 1/2-inch seam allowance in our factory, and that's what we allow, whether we're doing custom product or our own product. And the sewers know that that's what our allowance is. And when product goes through quality, like through being ready for shipping, the people that pull the product will actually measure it to make sure that everything is the correct size.
Never thought about it. So much goes into.
Oh my gosh!
I know
every product,
and it just makes people appreciate that every detail. I mean, those little tiny things just mean so much at the end.
Your pillow, which looks very simple, is probably touched by maybe like 10 different people around the factory at any given time. A pillow, because somebody has to pull that fabric down, someone has to cut it. Somebody has to go and get the zipper, the thread, and all the components that are needed, whatever else needed to make that pillow. Then it has to go and get overlocked. It gets overlocked first. So we overlock, which is like that edging, so that the fabric will not come apart when the product is fully made. Then it goes to the actual sewer, who will sew the pillow. Then it goes over to sometimes we have topical things like nail heads, things like that we do on top of it. That goes to another department where all hand application gets done. Then it moves to our packing kind of department where orders are pulled. They'll put the pillows inside out. They'll look at it, make sure everything is good, place it on the order. Then it goes to the packing table. At the packing table, they lint roll, they cut loose threads.
Beautiful.
They will pull the pillow that you've specified that you want in there, because we offer 3 different fills. They fill it nicely into the corners. They tag it in the zipper. They don't puncture any holes in the fabric. And then they'll put it in a plastic bag, wrap it nicely, place it in the box. So when you get it, you just open it up and it's ready to go.
That really is a special system.
It is a skill set. I have packed pillows too. I mean, it takes time to push and get your pillows nicely into the corners and to feel like it's evenly dispersed and that the pillow looks beautiful.
Right.
So, I mean, and then what about duvets and any techniques or any evolution to that?
Not really. The interesting thing that's happened that we've seen with duvets is we started offering comforters because custom side of our business, customers wanted comforters, whether their moms had it.
Right. I feel like that's a cyclical thing. They come in like that. I get it.
It could be. And just a comfort
They
level
look
with
good.
it. And then sometimes
They're not.
people are like, I don't want to fill a duvet.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 20 minutes putting the duvet insert in. Like, I get it. So we started offering comforters, and they were just so successful that we incorporated it into our line. So now every collection that we do,
Such
we
a history
offer
with that too, right?
a comforter version as well. And we probably sell an equal amount of comforters and duvets.
And when it comes to sizing, like obviously there's standard sizing, but like when you take even comforters, just the evolution of comforter and how they would be one piece and you'd roll the pillows in, or some would hang long and some would be seamed, and then they'd have the skirt. I mean, there's
and we do that in our custom workroom. We will do these bedspreads where the bedspread goes all the way down to the ground. It's not something we offer, but
you'll do it.
We will do it. Whatever you want.
So fabulous.
We'll make it.
So fabulous. So obviously we could talk about the little ins and outs of bedding for days, but there is you're sold at High Point as your main source of like your showroom. And that's open year round.
It's open at market, and then it's open like by appointment if people want to see it. But usually what we do is we change every single market, and we do such a big renovation. We change the layout a little bit. We put in new bed collections. We'll build new vignettes. We put up wallpaper, paint, different elements like that. So between markets, we're getting it ready for the next market.
You're gearing up.
Which is a lot of work. But we do have a showroom in Chicago that people come to. And
is that part of the factory?
That's where the factory is. It's right at the factory. And we always welcome people to come to the factory. If they ever want to tour, we're happy to show them around.
Oh, that's really
because
amazing.
It's such a great educational
it really is
experience.
Like an art form.
And it's really cool to be able to see it. And I feel very proud that we make these items and we still make them in the US. And I think most people, when they go and see how it's done, they come away too with a newfound respect.
Such a new appreciation
for the product. And you look at it and you're like, somebody designed that and I just saw that being made. And that took a lot of people to make that one item.
So spending a lot of time in High Point must have been what led to the Manor project, Pandora's Manor. Tell us how that came about, what Pandora's Manor is. I've seen it. It's truly a masterpiece.
It is.
Thank you.
In every detail.
Thanks.
I mean, literally every layer of every level.
It's almost a reason when you go to High Point, you have to go to the Manor just to go see it or experience it.
You really do. And I mean, High Point, as you guys know, it's kind of an interesting city. Like, it is the world headquarters of home furnishings, but it's kind of a weird, interesting town. You're like, it's not, beautiful like Charleston or something like that.
Like you would think so.
Yes, you
like
would think
it. And
home the showrooms are amazing, but outside of it, you're like, well, what is there?
They're city blocks.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And
but you walk two blocks or 3 blocks kind of out of High Point.
And it's a little sketchy. Maybe.
But you come to the Manor. And
you
it's
come
like,
to the Manor and
what
it's
is this?
Yeah,
Oh,
what is this tucked away? So right behind Leaf Furniture, there's the Manor is there. It's on High Avenue, and it's like the old historic district. The home is beautiful. It was built in 1905. It was built for Henry Fraser. Henry Fraser was one of the founding members of like the furniture business. So him, Tomlinson, and all the rest were the first people to set up furniture companies in High Point. And his home there was like just within walking distance to the factory. And he also had set up the Alma Desk company. So this house that he built was built in 1905. The train tracks are right there.
Right there.
They would have day laborers that would just come off the train and help build the house at the time. And the house was, it still is, but at the time it was just magnificent.
Big house.
Yes, very large.
15,000 plus square feet.
Home, beautiful. And
porches.
Beautiful.
Well, the porch goes
southern porch, wraparound porch. And then The woodwork is amazing.
You know what I appreciate is the scale too for that time. It really it's stately.
It was very impressive. And this house was only built 10, 15 years after the Biltmore. So it's like a very similar time period as the Biltmore. And it's really it's this amazing little jewel that when you're in it, you're like, I don't really know where I am, but it is special. So Eastern Accents acquired the house in, I think, 2014, 2015, when Ridvan, the owner of the company, bought the house. It was not in the best shape.
Okay.
It was...
Whose hands has it been in?
It's only been in 3 different owners. The Frasers who built it, and Henry Fraser built it. His wife's name was Pandora. That's why we call it Pandora's Manor, because the house was really her house. And they had one daughter, Isla, and they lived there until the late 20s. When they sold the house...
Wow, so they didn't have it that long.
They didn't have it that long. And in the house, there's an amazing stained glass window at the top of the stairs on the landing. And Henry Fraser was a religious man, and he commissioned that. It's a Madonna and Child, but he commissioned it to commemorate his wife Pandora and his daughter Isla as well. And when we did our addition, we built kind of a whole protective area around it, and we backlit it with LED lights so that it's lit up the whole time, because the end of the house ended there, and the poor stained glass was just getting beat up from the exposure of the sun and everything hitting it in the back.
Has it always been called Pandora, or did you...
we called it. So it was Pandora's Manor. Then they sold the house to the Wilson family. The Wilson family were the first Ford dealership in the town. And
so not furniture.
Not furniture at all. And Eastern Accents acquired it from the Wilson family. So we were like the 3rd owners. And when we got it, it was crazy plumbing and like step-up bathrooms. So you know all of the pipes were there, because it's much easier to put the pipes under the floor as opposed to going into the walls.
Right.
And a lot of the space had to be reconfigured. But when I started looking into the history of the house and found out about who built it and when it was built, I thought, well, we have to call it Pandora's because it's her house. And I do believe it's her house. And it's their house. And I do feel like that. I feel like I was the steward of the house, and it was my job to make the house feel today just like it felt when it was in 1905. This amazing
it really
and it does feel
that way.
Thank you.
It does.
The layering is truly masterful.
And each room that you sit in is just so relaxing and
cozy.
The house has a good soul and a good energy, and
it has a wonderful energy.
Thank you. And it took a long time. Like, I would go down there and just stay there on my own, and I would walk around the house to see like what I needed to change or how the flow could be better with minimally invasive things. And we would take down some of the door frames or the woodwork because it was so lovely, deep, old, generous woodwork, and we would repurpose and use it somewhere else. And then there were like some old fireplaces we had to take out, things like that.
So how did you go about putting your group of artisans together? Like, such a departure from pillows and
bedding.
This bedding, like definitely into it's an interior design, architectural digest.
It is. So we kind of thought, we wanted to
has it been featured in Architectural Digest or anything like that? It should be.
No, it should be, yeah.
It should be.
Thank you. But what was interesting is we wanted it to feel a little like Alice in Wonderland. You're in this historic home that feels like it should be in 1905, like you're walking into the past.
Right.
But you have today's conveniences. And then we wanted the bedrooms to all feel completely different. Like, you open up the door and you're in a whole different world. And that's really how the bedrooms feel when you're in them. Everything is such a unique signature and handwriting. And that's why we went and we asked different designers that we knew to take on board a bedroom and
so you
bring their
did.
identity to that. And that's what we did.
So how did you go about selecting who you were working with for that? And did you work on keeping continuity between them as well? What was their marching orders?
I gave them a very I already did the bathrooms. The bathrooms were black and white as the base, and I picked all of the shower tile and everything. So I wanted there to be some consistency there. But other than that, they kind of had free rein on what they wanted to do, what they wanted to place, paint, wallpaper, decor, whatever. So we went to these designers. Some of them we worked with, like Barkley and Celery and Tom.
Amazing.
And Madcap we worked with too, and even Toby. So it was really nice because we already had a nice rapport with these designers. We knew they all had a different vision. And then we were able to say, you know what, here's your room. You go and just make it amazing. And that's what they did.
So at what point did it become an inn?
2016, we kind of launched it, opened it up. Then people could stay there. And now anybody can stay there. And you can go and pick whatever room you want to stay in.
So it's a bed and breakfast.
It's a fully functioning bed and breakfast.
And it's
because the day
open
we were there,
year-round?
there was some event going on. And you had said to us, go get something to eat in one of the rooms. And we weren't hungry, but we walked into the dining room.
It was such a beautiful
and just the display of food
presentation.
and the food that was being made. I was like,
In the kitchen itself. I
Oh.
know.
So the kitchen is my favorite room. So the kitchen became like my own personal
Passion
project. I was like, if I could build a perfect kitchen, I would make it like this. And that's what I did. And I picked things that I loved. I was very respectful again of the space and everything, but knowing we want this beautiful exhibition kitchen that people could sit at, where you could have a chef cook, everybody could watch, interact, where it's a different experience. So that was the kitchen that we built.
I think it's a place, I had a restaurant I had mentioned to you last night, long ago, for a number of years. It's without a doubt a place that if you're a restaurant owner or you own a hotel, it's a place that people should go to experience the feeling that you get.
Yes.
Like as soon as you walk, like we did a podcast a few weeks ago with a woman, interior designer who designs with feng shui.
Yeah.
And the feel and the mood of the house. And when you walk into a house, the manner, you walk in and you immediately feel so comfortable.
And it still feels like a home.
Yes.
It's just...
Yes. It's a living, breathing entity. And
the energy.
It
that
does
you feel the energy.
Yeah. I think so too. And I feel it. And every time I go down to High Point, I always...
Do you stay there?
I stay there, yes. And I just like it because I always sort of walk the house to make sure everything is good. I look around to see, is there something else I need to add? Because I'm constantly looking for different things to complete it or update or change and add, or what can we improve on? And I walk around the grounds because a lot of times I'll go down in the summer and I'll spend maybe a week there and we start to plant things and I'll do different things because I love doing all of the flowers as well at Eastern Accents in our showroom and at the Manor. And I love planting things in the garden that grow and we'll cut from what we have growing in the Manor.
But you also do parties and events there.
And we have
well.
parties and events there. Yeah, special events. At Market, there's a lot of events that happen.
Server
at
weddings
the Manor.
there?
There are some weddings there. It's a perfect place. We used to have a tent in the backspace. We don't have that anymore. But it's a lovely event for like a second wedding or a smaller wedding or elopement, something more intimate.
And I feel like you definitely feel the connection to textiles when you walk in. So, that it's a completely different entity, but you can tell it's the house that Eastern Accents brought back together. Do you know?
Yes.
It has an overwhelming layering of...
It does have a lot of layers and a lot of textiles.
For me, that's like the ultimate, Yeah. To be able to incorporate all that is just so special.
And we made all of the draperies. We had
the draperies
painted
are spectacular.
Different things to complement the wallpaper, like there are birds actually in the wallpaper there, but it's not in the bedroom, so it's okay. But we did hand paint birds on some of the drapery swags and everything to tie in with the paper that we used in the main area. And just different rooms of different themes, and things were curated and collected. I had bought in the dining room, there's a map that's there, and it's from the 50s, and it's a map of North Carolina, and it's huge. I mean, I don't know how people opened it up and actually platter their way in the car, but it's a beautiful map. So I think I got it for $20 at a thrift store in High Point.
My goodness.
And then I went and brought it to a local framers and had them dry mount it and cut it into a triptych, and that became like the focal point for the dining room. And the dining room is very kind of about transportation and maps and all the rest because the train's right there in front.
It really is such a special place. So do the owners get over there often as well? Like, what is their invite?
Like the owners of Eastern Accents?
Yes.
Not sometimes.
It's like more your baby.
I feel I've kind of claimed it as my baby. I mean, I stay there, but I want to make sure that she's just always beautiful, that this house is always gorgeous, and that whenever you walk in there, I'm genuinely happy when, like you said, Scott, your initial reaction, you walk in there, you're like, this is amazing. And it just really makes me happy to see it because it is a beautiful piece of architecture. It could have been easily wiped out. Like it could have been knocked down.
Is it on the historic registry?
Yes, it is. And what's crazy is the house to the right of it is also another historic house, the Red Egg. And that house was actually where Lee Furniture was. But they moved it to the space that it's in now. But you think, in a city where people want showrooms and showroom spaces, it's so easy to say, well, this is a great piece of land. Let's just knock this house down and build a showroom. And it just would be such a travesty because I feel like this house is a gift to the people in the area.
Yeah.
It's
it really
an
is.
amazing thing for people to see and
It's
experience.
a destination in and of itself.
It is.
So who puts together the staffing and the maintaining of
So we
those?
have separate staff. We have manager and everything that looks after the manor. So it's like a fully functioning entity on its own. And it's open year round and locals use it. People come there. There's different people stay there. We've High Point University there. So we have a lot of parents from the university that once they come and stay there,
That's where they
like,
want to stay.
I like this. I'm going to stay here. And they have their favorite rooms or they try out different rooms. So it's
How many
really
rooms are in
interesting.
it?
There's only 6 rooms.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's very intimate, very small, very personal. And generally, if we have an event there, usually you're the only event that's there. So it's nice because, again, it's intimate. You're not going to run into like another company, or if it's your wedding, you get the whole place.
Unbelievable. So is it always booked way in advance for High Point?
Oh, yes. Market is tough. We've got a waiting list.
I'm
and
sure.
we have a lot of regulars that just
I would
come.
think,
and
yes.
I would think
that's their
so.
home. Like
It's
it becomes
true.
like a home away from home. You just feel comfortable. You know the staff, you know what's there. We have snacks out all the time. We've got homemade cookies. You
It
can
really is
request
such an experience
what
and
you
a
want.
feeling. Yeah.
It's whatever you want.
So what's next? What's next on your agenda?
Oh, what is next?
I mean, you've had a amazing year traveling with the
Yes.
Sewn Object and
Yes.
all that.
This year has started off very inspiring with a lot of travel and a lot of exposure to a lot of different ideas. I don't think I've fully absorbed everything
all
yet
yet?
because I think it has to it's like coffee. It just has to run through the filter. So it's still going through the filter. But right now, we're sort of busy because High Point is coming hot on our heels
Yep.
in April. So that's going to be busy. We're working on doing some cordless Roman shades, which is very, very exciting.
I love that
and
idea.
motorized shades, which is very cool.
That's very cool. So and they're customizable, obviously, in
Yes.
width and height.
Yes. It's really nice.
When are those launching?
So we've been working on it. We're hoping to launch it sometime this summer. We just want to make sure when we launch it, like we've hit our learning curve and made enough of them that we know exactly what works and what doesn't.
Like a Roman shade?
A
Yeah.
Roman shade.
That to me is very exciting.
It is exciting. And it's nice because they're all cordless. And cordless is really the way
They
to go
just
because
go up
you
and-
just touch it and
I
it goes
know.
up and you
What
program to
technology,
stop.
amazing.
And the remote control is pretty impressive. You just push the button and it'll stop automatically. And then you can actually have a program through your phone. So if you're on vacation, you could say, you can program it to close your shades.
So will you launch those on your website
Yes.
where people can customize it
Yes.
and then order it?
Yes. Everything is customizable on our website. And we actually have a whole rendering program for a lot of our headboards, things like that. So you can actually see
The
fabrics in our line
on it.
rendered. You can add nail heads, welts, change the stain of the woods, things like that.
So is it just the fabrics that you handle, or can people use their own,
No,
like a
people
COM?
can use their own. You could COM.
You could do
We do
COM.
COM all the time. We do COM all the time. And what's kind of funny, and one thing I've noticed is we'll do COM and I'll be looking at something that's made and I see amazing fabrics, which is really, really cool. So I feel like I get exposed to even more fabrics.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes I'll go and I'll see it and I'll be like, oh no, this person just COM'd this fabric. They didn't realize we carry the same colorway. We have the same fabric. Like if they had bought it from
That
us,
is so funny.
it wouldn't have even had to have been shipped into us. They could have just
They'd save money.
used it. They could have saved
That's
money.
funny.
So it's Eastern Access is always a good resource for fabric and trim because we carry such a range of it and we're always in stock because we needed to make our product to ship it out. So very rarely would you find our fabrics.
So
on
how many
back order.
fabrics do you think you carry?
Ooh,
Is it
50,
thousands?
50
Five.
racks. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around that.
5,000
5,000 different fabrics.
fabrics and trims. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It really is such an operation. I mean, like really comprehending it is.
It is. You stand back from it every now and then. You get a little mind blown. I'm like, sometimes I walk through the factory and it's almost like I have a new perspective. And I'm like, God, how does this happen? How's this
But
done?
5,000. So, but
Yeah.
what, and I guess maybe if people don't realize, they come in these huge
Bolts.
rolls.
Heavy, 50, 60 pounds a bolt. Yes.
Right.
Not easy. We're like moving them around every day, schlepping
Good workout.
these bolts. It is a great workout.
Oh, well, I love this conversation so much. And I just feel like you're so blessed to have this rich history and passion for textiles and to have landed in the United States and at Eastern Accents.
How lucky
It's
am
such
I?
a blessed
Yes.
career and existence, and met your husband and have your beautiful family. You
Mhm.
are, a dream. So thank you.
Thank you. I am very blessed. I'm very, very fortunate. And thanks for having me on.
We look forward to seeing you at High
do.
Point.
Yes,
Yes.
And
we're
at the
going to
Manor.
see you
Yes.
soon.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the Manor is
Yeah.
right.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you for listening to iDesign Lab podcast.
iDesign Labs podcast is an SW Group production in association with the 5-Star and TW Interiors. To learn more about iDesign Lab or TW Interiors, please visit twinteriors.com.